Well, the YouTube true crime tips and everything else. Dipstick Archie here with another look into the Summer Wells case. And this is all based on part 2 of the Dr. Phil interview. Mind you, there was a specific thing that I don't know why it was not shown on Dr. Phil, or even if he acknowledged it. But whatever the case may be, I am blown away from that interview. Now, there was something I couldn't figure out of the gang, but of the last video I did and couldn't remember the name, but now we got the Cornbread Mafia. I'm sorry, but look, I will be back. Little interruption, but we are back. Of course, I'm working on 2 phones now because my other phone went to the repair shop, and I'm using another phone that I was actually damn surprised that the damn thing worked. And, yeah. But I did not download nothing on it because I do not want to do that. So I want to wait until my damn old phone gets back here. Well, new phone, but hopefully something is fixed with the damn thing. Anyways, going over this case, and like I said, I'm mind blown. I don't know if Dr. Phil didn't even see this, or why wouldn't he cover this, but I made a mistake also in the last video saying that the 2 driveways look the same to me in some ways, but I have found the original driveway, and I even screenshot it. We'll be going over that. But due to the fact that, yes, that this damn thing, this driveway, not only is it, mind blown on how the kid just could have disappeared, but the way they say she could have been abducted. Another thing in this interview, they were talking about one of the, the father talking about how in the beginning he thought she had been abducted. I think in the interview to the, hey, where you going? The interview to the 2 face recognition people on body language, he said he thought in the interview that they said she had thought had been kidnapped. Of course, they have a word for that, or so much a meaning for it, what with their body language and what they do. And like I say, you have to watch the first Dr. Phil video, airing of it to check out what he meant. But in my eyes, yeah, kidnapped and abducted is 2 different things. And I believe, they got that syndrome of in there of, I believe the kidnapping is, or the abduction. Oh, kidnapping is when someone does it within the family, I guess. Abduction, I think either vice versa, whenever it is. One of them means, someone had done it in the family. The other one is non-family members. So there's meanings there, I guess. And this one, and the mother, I'll tell you, really just made herself look more and more suspicious, more bad. And I kind of disagree with Dr. Phil and the 2 men that the mother had nothing to do with it. But they're saying that she definitely knows something. Now, of course, for many, many years and decades, there's been, of course, the, the child ring cult, you can call them, getting them kids into the sex slaving, slaves, all that stuff. And I think that's where they're going with this. But, of course, Well, I don't know why they ain't pushing or pressing the issue. But yeah, these parents are not giving up nothing, and for whatever reason, when the cornbread mafia is mentioned to the mother, right, she gets very emotional. But in this interview, she claims she don't know who they are, and it sounds, they sound evil, and or however she said it. Because, in other words, I think she was trying to explain. I don't think they explained that, or if they did, she was just the way she said it. I would say she was trying to say it in a way that, right, she don't know what that is, and it scares her. That's why she gets emotional. I think that was what was said, but, that woman is just all around, beating around the bush and everything else. And, I don't know, Dr. Phil is putting it out there that he believes she and her husband didn't have nothing to do with the child's disappearance, but they know something. And I mean, he went with the hard questions of, do you owe anybody, drug dealers, this and that, and she, of course, they deny everything, but yet they do live in an area that is, constructed of, drug dealers, or, of course, the cornbread mafia is one of them. I'm sure there's local or even, side jobs, call them, little chumps out there doing their business, but, they're swearing up and down that they know nothing, and this is nothing, and, and they're just very defensive. And, she was, Dr. Phil was asking her questions, and the husband was also friggin' answering it for her, because I tell you, I'm not trying to bust anybody's chops, but she's very uneducated, and she seems very, I don't know, she just seems very, very, not good with dealing or talking with nobody. I mean, every time she feels like she's getting interrogated all the time, and Dr. Phil, flatly, right, said out blunt that I'm not here to try and interrogate you. I'm trying to help your kid, get your kid back. But, right, when you're in deceptive guilt, and something lingers over your head, like this woman, there is something there, but I do think she might have had something to do with it. I mean, whether or not she sold that kid into sex slavery or owed money, or just plain right out flat blunt murdered her. And looking at the location of this place, man, there would be lots of places to take yourself and bury a child. But like I say, there was one distinctive thing in here, and I don't know if Dr. Phil missed it or he wasn't even going to look at it because of the simple fact of what the father said. And right over there, as you can see, this blue, I don't know if that's something maybe to a septic tank or something. I forgot what they said, but there's supposedly a path over there that was used. Now, oh man. And what really caught my attention, I'm sure, but Dr. Phil didn't put the hammer down on the question. I mean, I'm sure they had a lot of, not enough time to get through or put down the hammer on much stuff, but it would be good to ask the question, and he didn't even ask. And the question is, for me, that I want answered, that he said he didn't know that path exists. Now, living there in a, goddamn, what is that? Ooh, that looks like a spirit. Living in the house, who knows how long, but it seems like they've been there for a damn good while. You're going to tell me, especially with that blue tank over here, or whatever that is, electric box. I don't know. Like I said, I forgot what they said, but if you're maintaining this or have to maintain it, or you're looking at this big looking ugly thing, why would you not go or even see a path in your woods? That caught my attention hugely. But that ain't what I really am, I mean, that was one good question I would have liked to seen answer on Dr. Phil, but he didn't. He just, I didn't even know it was there, he said. And Dr. Phil just kept going on. So you're telling me about this person came in here and did this, and he's like, yep. But yet, he didn't say, what? I would have stopped and said, what do you mean you didn't know that path was there? So, once again, here is the house. And, like I say, I cannot get it out of my head of why anybody would have a 5-year-old child with a door access in a basement. That, to me, is a very, very high risk, whether or not the kid gets abducted. What if there's a wild animal outside with rabies and, I'm just going to pop outside and poof, just get bit? I mean, that to me is very unsafe, especially a 5-year-old child. And I don't care what anybody says. I believe, and I want to say, due to the fact of just looking at that Summer Wells, I can say that she's got some high ADHD and what is it? Damn it, bear with me. Hyperactivity, I swear. And let alone in my last video, that friggin' doorway that was made under a cabinet. It's like, wow. Everything in this house is just, and I would say it is, every other room is upstairs. Why couldn't the boys be downstairs? You got 3 boys, they're older. You would think you'd put a 5-year-old up in a bedroom there where someone could see her. Up in a bedroom where she would be safe, not to be able to have access at the door. What if she turns into one of them kids that'd be a sleepwalker, walks out, gets mauled by a friggin' coyote? These are the things and questions I would like answered. Why in the hell was a kid put in a place in a basement with an accessed door? That right there, let alone. Now, another thing that was said that caught my eye, in the beginning, I love this one. Now, of course, they said, little Summer Wells and her mother were helping their grandmother in the garden. And I know I read this in my first article or my first video or second video. And Summer Wells wanted to go play dolls. So the mother walked her in. I guess I want to say that she maybe did say, hey, you kids, keep an eye on your sister. But I could have sworn that the kid just immediately, Summer wanted to just go down in the basement to play dolls. Now she wanted to play toys. First it was dolls, it was toys. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that's, the same thing. Dolls are toys. But when you're putting dolls and then you change it to toys, and I believe, they did say it in this Dr. Phil interview, but what really caught my attention and Dr. Phil did not catch because, obviously he don't go to different articles on this case. I don't know how he works, but this is how I work, and this is why I like to do individual articles. And what really caught my attention was in that article I read, and I'm sure I got it up, that she went back outside to help her mother with the gardening, and that was it. She had to go back outside and she was helping with the gardening. And then she said she finished up with the gardening and went back in the house to check on something. I wasn't even out there 5 minutes. Of course, Dr. Phil really laid the hammer on that one. It's about 5 minutes. You're going to tell me that you went right back in, right? But get this. Of course, this caught my attention. She went out back, not to help with the garden, but to help wrap her mother's feet or knee. She went to wrap something with a bandage. So you tell me that they do gardening. And that's what I damn know what I read in that article. They were doing gardening. I put some up in the house. Then I went back out to finish up the gardening. Then I went to go check on some. And now all of a sudden it's wrapped up her knee. I think it might have been her knee so she could walk. I went outside to help my mother wrap her knee. And then I went back in the house. So you're going to tell me she stopped to wrap up her knee to do more gardening? Or let alone she just went out there and, I don't know. And, right, does Dr. Phil even read all articles or just some? I mean, I know he's got a timeline on his show, but that one right there, what I know, I would have stopped. So, went down and started to do, what do you mean wrap a knee? I thought y'all there doing gardening. So what? Okay. I mean, there's some stuff in here that's changed. And, you know, always in a case when a person tells one story and then goes on to change to other things in the story. And to me, that's a big change right there. Because to do gardening and then they bring the kid in and then go out to wrap a knee, you know damn well that's going to take over 5 minutes or so. Or whatever the hell they were even doing, even if they were wrapping or doing gardening. I told you them buckets out in that yard, they look like crappy weeds that were just growing out of dirt. That's all it looked like to me. And for them to say they were doing gardening out of totes, it's like, no way. So that was a big interest to me in that interview. And of course, another thing, that dog was out in this yard too. So if someone would, and they say, yeah, they won't hear the door. They did the door thing there, and you heard a little creak come into it. And the mother did say, oh no, the kids wouldn't hear that with the TV being on. But yet, if that grandmother is out here, you know, that don't seem like a long distance. And the gardening was supposedly right behind it. But it's just insane. This case is insane. It's like everything else. So here we have Dr. Phil doing up an examination, talking about the door. And now we're going to put this over here because where I got the B is up in this upper corner. Wait a minute, did I get that other one? Of course, you get to draw a line on. Did I get that line? No, shoot. So anyways, if you watch this interview, and I recommend anybody to do it, he points an arrow over there. And this is where the path is. Right by that blue thing. And the guy literally sat there and said, I never knew it was there. I didn't know about that path. I didn't know about it. And it's like, what the are you serious, guy? You didn't know about no path. And I'm sure these people lived in this house at least over 5 years. Or at least 4 years or even more, whatever the case may be. So this being the right driveway, I can't really go over here. All right, get a better view. I'm going to put that over there now. So, is that the arrow? Yeah, I think that's the arrow he wrote right here. Yeah, there it is. You barely can see it, but that's where it is. And that's where the path is. So, the father is claiming that someone came in that way and brought her out that way. And damn it, I didn't screenshot this. I was supposed to screenshot the other thing, but it looks like I gotta go to Google Maps. But, all in all, as you can see, I mean, yes, this is a big yard, but, you know, for that girl to get out, and that's another thing I found Dang it. Did I put it in this one? No, I probably... Nope. I thought I screenshot it on my other phone. God dang it. Bear with me. Let me see if I got it in my Google Photos. And then there's another thing, like I said. I mean, this gets pretty damn good if you ask me. With all this, crap going on. There we are. Yeah, I damn well freaking did that on I screenshot it on my other phone. Hope my screen didn't screw everything up. But going back to this, and as the guy said that she was abducted and taken out of that path over here. Over here, she got taken out to the road. So, if that is the case, you got to sit here and think and wonder. The grandmother's over here, down here. You're going to tell me she ain't got a good view to that path. You're friggin' crazy. And if she was out there, and I guess the mother lives in that camper, and if she was doing gardening or whatever, I'm sure these people stop and look up and stretch their back out for a few minutes if they are even bending over to do a garden. Or whatever she was doing, wrapped up her knee and just sat there. But you would think you would look out the corner of your eye and see someone running out of the friggin' house with your kid to come up in that set of woods. It's like, what are you really doing and thinking? And I'm just blown away because what you're gonna see next is my knee. No, in all seriousness. So I had to go back into this, and yeah, this I'm gonna show where I had the wrong driveway. I goofed, and this was where the old driveway I thought was, because they had all that stuff and junk in there, and I was trying to figure out where the hell this road was. Because, there wasn't many houses, but as you can see, and I wasn't even looking up here, but because it's kind of hidden, this is where their house is, right there. And they're very close to a main highway. And they're close to also these people over here. The Dykes Mill, I believe. I'm about to wonder if that's like a historical or I don't know what that is, but that looks like someone lives there. And there's neighbors there. But if someone came up on this road and they're saying, and as you can see the length, and I'm going to show you in a minute the closeness, but this is supposedly where the person came into the woods and went back out. Right there. That's simple. And that's what they're claiming. Didn't come into the driveway or nothing. It was that ugly guy. So this is the one I goofed on. I thought this was, I don't know why I thought that was a house, but I was looking at something else. And that, and then that. And then went to Ben Hill. God dang it. Then, I finally got to the point where I found this, because I had to look up Beach Creek. And lo and behold, there is their house. And like I said, how's this guy gonna say he lived here all these years and didn't know there was some stupid path in these woods? But then again, this is being the main road, I'm surprised no one drove down is right. Saw any suspicious cars sitting off the side of the road. But what really caught my attention, and Dr. Phil did not show this nor see it. I don't know if he did or just didn't want to bring it in because, right, he's on a time pattern. And he's only going on what the father said about the path in the woods. But look at this. I won't go on any closer. Now over here, you have this, which don't look like nothing but maybe a old house that used to sit there. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about this until now, but as you can see, someone can literally drive in there, come in here. And what is that we see, folks? Oh, geez, look at this clear out. And when you scroll in real far with this, you can see one big layout. One clear path with nothing in it but a friggin'... I want to say I saw some power lines in there, but I would believe in, you got two entrances, and this one probably would be the worst one to go into. Of course, that's the beginning of the driveway up here, and it'll probably come in here, but why would anybody risk sitting on a main road, suspicious car pulled off the side? Oh, geez, you can come right over here and do everything right here and pull out that way or buzz off that way, but then come in here and tuck behind the trees and not be seen of nothing. Why would someone risk go over there? So, whatever the hell this is, I think there might be power lines. I don't know if that... Yeah, I don't see no power lines, but I just would like to know what the hell is that there for. So, I mean, all in all, there's a way in and out of this house. And a lot of friggin' trees and woods to be, doing something to some child that you don't want around no more. Let alone kidnapping, if there was a kidnapper. But it's insane. This story just keeps getting insane, just like all the rest of the stories. But that found that interesting. And the few things that were said and Dr. Phil didn't catch on that I did, just stop that and say, wait a minute. Well, you said this, and oh, wait a minute. I mean, it was a good show, and he did come out with some damn good questions, but when the story is changed with these articles, and I wouldn't wrap my mother's foot. What are you wrapping your mother, or your knee? What you wrapping the knee for? Why can't she wrap her own damn knee? But, them are some interesting finds in my case, so I'm going to get out of here and look a little more into this, see what else I can find. But them things that I did in the Dr. Phil interview was pretty good, and what I found and everything, it's just like, wow, what's really going on with this case is right. So, with that being said, something for everybody to just sit there and think about. Till the next video, be safe, take care, always beware, and always believe. But this story is just like the Delphi murders, getting crazier and crazier every second you look at it. But all right, folks, out.